we are live. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Kansas Speedway here in Kansas City, Kansas, for the running of the Paiste Symbols 400. Now, I know it's been a very long time since I have last streamed, been nearly a month, so I'm sorry about that, but um. Yeah, school's just been pretty busy. I just haven't had a lot of time for this type of thing. But we are here at the Kansas Speedway, another 1.5 mile ovals, as the push for the championship continues here in the Excel Energy Cup Series season. Let's get your starting lineup here for the Paiste 400. So on the pole is the 31 of James Busher for Fisher Motorsports, and the outside is second in points, Patrick Smith, the 0-1. He sits 200 behind Brady Burghardt. Row 2, we have Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Yari Madi Hapalainen. Behind them, it's Dragos King and Eli Bright. Then we have Brandon Morris and Nick Perez, Skylar Dixon, Dane Cruz, Logan Bradley, Tim Foster, Julio Caesar, and Cody Savage. And it's Kev Shear, Nick Bergwald, Teddy Kari, Eric Darnell, Zachary Bilson. Inch crashed? Oh boy. Sorry, it's being streamed. If you're watching this later, 18500 qualifying's going on. Inside of Bilson is Dylan Jacobs. It's Robbie Webb, Cody Smart, Noah Breeze, 42's Hector Carneras. Then we have third in points, TJ Hanley. He's fallen to about 350 points back, so not what he wants to see in the championship, but a good day on Brady Burghardt and maybe even Patrick Smith. What TJ needs to be back in the hunt. Outside Gabriel Duran. Then we have Alliance Partners and Us Delgado, Noah Robb. Logan Cloud, who surprisingly does sit fourth in points, but he's about 500 or so back. Gonna need a lot to make this late season charge for this 94 pull off. Side Daniel Matthew, then it's Preston Emmons, Antoine Smith, Austin Terry. And the big story this weekend is Brady Burghardt. You see behind him is team boss Jake Jefferson. Those two are first and fifth in the points. Burghardt with the 200-point lead. Terrible qualifying session in Kansas for them. Championship may sway once again here. Jefferson obviously behind Burghardt. Dominic Carlone, who is outside. Last four spots go Town, Fry, Rose, and Fisher. So you see there, you got James Busher on pole, and then his boss slash teammate Trey Fisher starting on the last row. But get the command from Kansas.
Drivers, start your engines.
The engines will fire here on the back straightaway from the Kansas Speedway. Hopefully I don't have any like graphics issues or anything. Haven't really tested this track in a long time, but everyone fires off down the back straightaway for 54 laps of racing. You see here, ticker going the wrong order. So we're actually practice speed. So TJ Hanley for highest in the practice. Did you see? Here is the 0. Ain't doing too bad there. No lag. We're going to go green here in the big return for probably like the 5th time. But the NXECS is back. We're racing at Kansas. James Busher, a great start for the 31. Fitzwater getting the inside of Patrick Smith already. The inside really carrying the momentum as they climb up the speeds into down the back straightaway and toward turn 3. Bottom line still charging hard. Eli Bright, now Nick Perez trying to clear Patrick Smith. Perez was... I want to say the last mile and a half we went to was Chicagoland, and that's where Nick Perez had a violent crash. He flipped in the tri-oval. No, excuse me, Rockingham's the last intermediate we went to, but 2 intermediate to go on a track most similar to this, Chicagoland. Nick Perez got turned and had a terrible crash. He went over, but did not get injured, thankfully. And it's still running. Now we have Zachary Fitzwater chasing down James Busher for the race lead. Let's go on board, number 59. Here he comes. He's got the run off 4. Drag racing into turn number 1. And he blows by him. Busher, no speed up high. And give the lead to number 59, trying to get his 3rd win of the season, Zachary Fitzwater. Now we got Skylar Dixon, a driver who's usually been stuck in the back trying to get up here into number 12. Chasing down that 31 of James Busher as Perez is able to work behind the 59 as well. Move up into 2nd. As well having a good day. Tib Foster, the 0-4, hasn't done much all year long. Having a good race here, but where has Patrick Smith fallen to? TJ Hanley's gotten past him, and look at this. Unbelievable. Brady Burkhardt starts like 33rd. He's already up to 16th, and the championship drivers are here just outside the top 10. Oh, Smith got a piece of the wall. Patrick Smith clipped the wall coming down into turn 1, and that's going to hurt him. He's going to lose a couple spots here. Looks like Brandon Moore's trying to take him 3 wide. And just doesn't have that many grooves where you got speed in, so Smith was really pushing on Cruz to try and back out, but he can't do it. And this 0-1 is doing nothing but falling through this field. Jake Jefferson's making some gains, but you see there, Happalainen started up way up in the field early as well. He started 4th. He's all the way down here. The outside line just really has no speed here. Back up to the front. Busher continues falling out from his pole position starting spot. We see Cody Savage trying to make a look on Tib Foster. And a little bit of tandems here. So you see Busher and Foster that time both clipped the wall. Looks like those safer barriers really pushed down. Oh man, Foster really close to that left rear quarter panel. Get into that. That 31 would be hooked right around, but Foster bided his time and backed off a little bit. Robbie Webb thought about a look. He checks up coming off the corner. Darnell trying to jump on that. Here comes the 14 for Chang Racing. Underneath the 20 of Webb. Not sure how much speed. These guys just barely just clipping that safer barrier on entry. Trying to get every tiny little last mile an hour going into turn 1. And it doesn't seem to affect them, even though they do fly some sparks. But over the course of the race, it might. Here comes TJ Hanley, but he's got pressure from the 60, Danica Matthew. This is for the 11th spot. And once again, Matthew takes that spot. Emmons now the next driver to challenge the 08. Behind him, Brady Burkhardt, who's gained 2 more spots. Where's Patrick Smith fallen to? Oh. I'm absolutely speechless. Patrick Smith, something must be amiss in that 0-1. He's fallen from 2nd to 33rd. An awful day for the championship. And Brady Burkhardt trying to continue to run away with it. Emmons now trying to close up on the 08 for the 12th spot. It'll put the next car behind him. The points leader, LeMan Hadley's trying to fight. Emmons didn't quite clear him into 1. He has to do it mid-corner, but Hanley being up the track at a couple miles an hour slower. Burkhardt's going to pass him once again. Looks like Fitzwater's starting to see some pressure from the cars behind. Perez and Dixon trying to close up on him. Let's go on board with the 45 and watch this battle. See, with this package, at most of these 1.5 mile tracks, you don't really have to lift going into the corners. Listen here. A little bit off the throttle. Lifts off mid-corner. A little bit off coming off to the exit. That's all you need. That's how you're getting these super fast lap times. The average speed of the race already 195 miles an hour. Fastest lap of 27.1 for Antoine Smith. That's 65. Where's the 65 running? 26th. Antoine could have been a championship contender, but poor performances in recent races basically forced him out of it. 45 more trying to defend off that 12. Then chase the leader. Zachary Fitzwater down. Eli Brett trying to close. And you see why that 45 was trying to. Because he knows that 12 car's fast behind him. And he's going to blow by him this time through turns 1 and 2. Eli Bright might capitalize as well. Ford's trying to jump the Mazda. Oh, can't quite get there into turn 3. He's going to try it on corner exit. Gets the 45 a little bit arrow loose. Chases him up the track. Can't do anything. 09 had to check up. To not turn that 45. He'll stay 4th. Busher sitting in 5th. Might be able to close. There's Robbie Webb getting past Tib Foster. Webb has 2 or 3 wins this season. He was the first, if not the only driver to go 2 wins in a row at the Minnesota Mile and Texas World races 6 and 7 this season. And although the 12 car is in 2nd, Cody Savage isn't doing that bad as either. He's 14th. But Robbie Webb has basically been the lead driver for John Rolson Racing this season. Preston Evans has found his way up into the top 10. He's trying to hunt down the 04 Tib Foster there for the 9th spot. Not without pressure from Matthew, though. Here comes the 60, the Krispy Kreme Ford. All over the back of him. Hanley's in 12th. Burkhart's fallen back a little bit. He's down to 18th. But if we look further back, Patrick Smith, where are you, buddy? 39th. Patrick Smith, clearly the biggest loser of the day. He's fallen 38 spots. Jacob Rose not having a good day either as well. Neither of the 2 co-owners for next season, Logan Bradley, Jacob Rose, they're starting their own team next season. They're not doing anything because they are sitting in the last couple spots of the field. But the train continues out front. The first 5 all within a second. We're going to take a quick commentary break and crank it up here from Kansas. As we near the halfway mark of the Paiste 400 here at Kansas Speedway, right on board for race leader Zachary Fitzwater. Championship battle winds down. Championship battle winding down still continues. Freddie Burghardt tries to distance his lead over Patrick Smith and TJ Hanley. Fastest lap of the race so far goes to Antoine Smith, still with that 27.199. Boy, this front five really stacking up now. They're all within a half second. But who's going to be the first to jump out of line and make the moves? Are we going to see Bright and Dixon trying to link up once again? As the only manufacturer not here is the Toyotas. Looks like Buescher thinking about a look on Bright. Matthew Eves returning in just a couple races at Bristol to that 0-9 after his terrible accident at Talladega. Bright trying to make the most of this opportunity before he jumps up to Cup next year. Once again, I was meant to make an update video past couple days, but I neglected to do so. Cup next year will be looking very different, extremely different to what was planned. But more info on that will be coming out. And be sure to check the Discord for any of those updates when they come out, if I do not make a video on them. There you see Nick Perez has jumped past the 12 of Skylar Dixon, and will try and chase down the 59 once again. Here comes James Buescher, as it seems like the Fords are the next cars to be shuffled out. Buescher can't get there. Dixon trying to get the run off the high side. He will. Going to keep third. Buescher still getting pressured from Eli Bright, though. That's 0-9. Past halfway. It's getting busy behind them here. Position 6 through 10. Really stacking up as Dylan Jacobs, Tim Foster shuffled up to the high side. Darnell Emmons Webb. And here comes Danica Matthew through. So we got a couple other cars just outside the top 10. You got Hanley Morris, Savage, and Bilson. Bilson needs a good run. He has had like none this whole season. But we're getting busy up here, fighting for that 10th spot. And here comes the 38, Jay Jefferson. Freddie Burkhardt still waiting back here in 18th. Handley ahead of Burkhardt what he needs, but he needs to win this race. And Burkhardt to be all the way down like Patrick Smith is. Where is Patrick? Is he still... Well, he's not second to last. Last two spots are going to have to go to the 86 and 81. But Fitzwater gets past. He gets into the wall as well on corner entry like we've seen everybody do. But it looks like he caught it more than they had. And now the 59 is no longer the leader. After leading about half this race, it's the 45 of Nick Perez. Perez was the points leader for about the first 5 races this year. It looked like he was going to run away with it. But no plans to return next year. And obviously he doesn't show any signs of being shaken up by that Chicagoland crash, as he's leading here at another 1.5 miles. Now Fitzwater trying to make a look on the 31 of James Buescher, trying to be patient. Pit stops may happen in this race. I'm not sure if they will. This may come down to fuel mileage here at the end of it. We'll see when they take. Into turn 1, no look from the 59. Let's go back to what we were talking about earlier, that 86, the 81, the two future teammates, both in the last spots. Nick Bergwald's gotten into the wall a couple too many times. He's got damage to the side of the 8. Now Patrick Smith drops back. Oh, excuse me, once again. Now Fitzwater pushes back underneath Buescher. He's going to have the Fords helping him with Brighton Dixon. Dixon's going to go high trying to help Buescher. Not sure that strategy is going to work because it looks like Dixon will get past the 31, but in turn he's going to lose time to the 0-9. Not sure what Skylar was thinking there. But now Eli Bright hounding the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater. As we're coming around 21 more laps here in the Paiste 400. This race going by quick, and now Bright ducks out underneath Fitzwater. Fitzy gives him space. He's going to drop back really slow 1 and 2. Dixon going to try and use that momentum to propel past that 59 for Fitzwater Australia Racing. Gonna need Buescher to help him pass, but you see Eli Bright starting to hound down the Kit Kat 45 of Nick Perez. This WWE NXT Ford has looked strong all race long. Matthew Eves did win in this car at Trenton. And Bright has had some good performances, but just really hasn't had the chance to back it up. Getting all those good results in all those races. TJ Hanley, you see on the ticker, sits in 8th. He's got Danica Matthew behind him. Talk about this. All three of John Rolston Racing's cars are in the top 10. Really good day for that team. Brandon Morris continuing to lead the JJ Motorsports squad like he has the past couple races, basically, outside of Brady Burkhart's good runs. Jake Jefferson, his boss, in 5th in points right behind him. Brady's not too far off. He's 14th. Happelainen fell back earlier from his 4th place starting spot, but he's worked his way back up the field. He's in, what, 20th? 17th, excuse me. Yeah, 17th. That checks out. And Sean Smith, fastest car of the day. He sits 22nd. Preston Emmons was falling out. He was near the top 10. Now he's down to 21st at the line. See Logan Cloud, not what he wants for his championship day. He's down in 25th. Jake Jefferson able to capitalize on that. Boy, cars way in the back here, really getting strung out. Patrick Smith, how many seconds is he off? He's nearly off 10 seconds to race leader Nick Perez. Patrick's championship hopes are not looking good, and Hanley closing up. If Brady Burkhardt keeps getting these good runs, he is easily gonna run away with it. Now, the choo-choo train out front really getting stacked up as these 4 cars work their way up here. Fitzwater getting impatient behind the 31 of Buescher. They try to catch the 09 and the 45. Coming around, lap 40 of 54. 15 to go from Kansas, and Buescher looks underneath the Eli Bright. Move we've seen a lot today. Just a late look into one. Caught the 09 off guard, but the 31 doesn't have the momentum, it seems. Pole sitter, 3rd place starter right behind him, Fitzwater, trying to work their way back up to the top 2 spots like they were on lap 2. This 31, James Buescher, outside of a win at the race 2 in Charlotte. I said it's another 1.5 miles for James Buescher that he won at. He figured Charlotte out, and it looks like he's figured Kansas out as well, because he's just having a great performance so far. As the Fords that have been running the strongest today are back to 4th and 5th. Robbie Webb of Ford as well there in 6th. But now Buescher will try and hunt down Nick Perez. Get one last onboard look, this time from the cockpit view of James Buescher. See up there looking in the mirrors, that 59 still all over his back bumper. Can't quite shake him off just yet. Looking to see if he's gonna make a run here. Thought about it, couldn't get there. Go back to the regular camera here. Coming up to 10 to go. There's Fitzwater's look. He couldn't do it in 1. He'll do it in turn 3. 59 trying to get this race back after he led basically the first half of it. See Skylar Dixon losing touch to Eli Bright. Bright trying to get past the 31 here, blowing by him. Now Eli thinking about a look on Fitzwater. He's going to catch the 59 off guard. Gives second to Eli Bright. And Dixon now closes up on them. But these guys are going to be slower compared to Nick Perez now, as these guys all battle it out. They're allowing Robbie Webb to close now. Nick Perez trying to run away with it. Buescher's running low. Running lower than I thought. Coming around 9 laps left. Are we going to see pit stops in this race? 54 laps is a big ask for a 1.5 mile oval. See different strategies here in all the other different races we saw at Chicagoland. It was where TJ Hanley, I know, was one of them. He got screwed over because He couldn't make it on fuel. Will they have enough here in the Paiste 400 as it winds down? Here comes 6th, 7th, and 8th trying to get up on the lead fight. Robbie Webb got past his teammate Skylar Dixon. Nick Perez out to a half-second lead. Hanley needs any points he can get with Brady Burkhart. Now Burkhart's up to 12, so Hanley really needs these top 10 points at Burkhart not to get any of them. Jefferson, the only other top 5 and championship contender in points. He's in 10th. Right now, reeling in the 45. Nick Perez, laps winding down, 48 of 54. Monitoring this. And for the next upcoming mile-and-a-half ovals, there's Atlanta and Texas. I do not believe there are any other mile-and-a-half ovals left to run on the schedule. For a schedule that was arguably dominated by them. We had, like, 7 or 8, I want to say. Oh, Hanley! Hanley's got an issue! Hanley's got a problem. He's on the apron. TJ Hanley was going to gain points on Brady Burkhart, and now the Mazda engine has gone kaput on his Ace Hardware Clarkson Kensington self-owned car. TJ Hanley was going to gain points, and is he going to bring out a caution stopped here on the apron? No. He gets sent back to his box, and with 5 laps to go, heartbreak for the 08 team. Now, oh, Matthews had an issue, or is he pit? Because Danica Matthews was running in the top 10, and now he must have pit. Is he a lap down? Yeah, he's going to be a lap down. Can they make it? Coming around, lap 51 of 54 now here at Kansas. Brady Burkhart, where does he sit? As now it's 2. Yeah, Burkhart's in 11th. That JJ Motorsports car's 9th, 10th, 11th. They're really going to gain up. Now Perez is going to feel the pressure here. Coming around, 3 to go. Bright and Fitzwater close. Mazda versus Ford versus Dodge. A Chevy in the background. James Busher. What's going to happen? Waiting for the right opportunity. These guys think they can make it. No one's pit yet. And unless they run out on the last lap, they should be fine. Here comes Fitzwater underneath the 09. Fitzy wants this win, and he'll do anything to get it. But moving past the 09 so soon in the corner, it's going to allow Perez to pull away. Will Fitzwater have the momentum? Here comes James Busher with the run with these guys running side by side. Busher tries to tuck out on the 09, can't do it. Dixon underneath the 09, 2 to go. Perez leads by a good margin. Guys need to work together if they want to catch the leader. James Busher thought about a look underneath the 59, didn't take it. Here comes Webb trying to get the final spot in the top 5 underneath Eli Bright. But coming around to get the Bush's baked beans, white flag, Nick Perez takes it. And the number 45 for Hills Racing. And now Busher underneath Fitzwater and Webb underneath Bright once again. This is the battle for second. Busher trying to get it. Dixon thinking about maybe a 3-wide move for second. Here comes the 12. Not going to make the look. Fitzwater still trying to fight on the high side. Will he fall off? No, he's got the run. Busher checked up, but coming around, Nick Perez will win the Paiste 400. Fitzwater in second over Busher in third. Skylar Dixon will be 4th over his teammate Robbie Webb in 5th. Eli Bright 6th. Eric Darnell 7th. All 3 of the John Wilson Racing cars in the top 10 with Savage in 8th. Then it's Jefferson, Morris, Burkhart, Smith, Hepalainen, and Noah Robb, and Preston Emmons. Your top 15. But big story for this race is once again Brady Burkhart gains more points. And with TJ Hanley. Oh, Hanley had a tire go down. Hanley did not have engine issues. He had a tire go down. My mistake. But with Patrick Smith, 35th. TJ Hanley, 40th. The championship may be decided. There's going to be what, 6 races left, something like that, on this 25 race calendar. But Brady Burkhardt, he's going to have a huge points lead after this. Get your results here in a moment from Kansas. A very clean and uncontroversial 54 laps of action. Alright, here. Alright, who led the most laps? Was it Perez or Fitzwater? Fitzwater led the most laps by 1 over Perez, and the top 3 were the only drivers to lead. What you see there. Brady Burkhardt will get 175 points, Hanley only 50, and Smith 70. What will the standings look like? Honestly, I'm afraid to look. Let's see how bad the damage is and how much Brady Burkhardt has as much of a cushion to run away with this championship. Wow, less than I expected, honestly. He didn't gain that much. He didn't gain as much as I thought because Smith only lost 105 points. But the top 5 stayed the same. Fitzwater closes up. You see, so Hanley was the big loser. He loses over he loses nearly 125 points. Cloud, Jefferson, very close. There's only 4 points separating them for the 4th spot. They're nearly 600 points back. That's like 2 race wins. Probably not going to be enough. Nick Perez, with that win, is only his 2nd top 5 of the season. He goes from 25th to 11th. And look at this. You got from 14th to 20th. What's this? Under what? Wait. I'm sorry. 31 points. That's it. I know how to do math. 31 points between 14th and 20th. The midfield battle is strong right there. And also you see 23rd, 24th, 25th, Busher, King, Carneris. There's only like 10 points between them. There's a lot of just very minute but very close battles here throughout. But thank you guys for coming. It's been too long since I've streamed. Yes, alright. Yes, again, thank you all for watching. And we will see you next time from... Oh god, what's the next race? I think it's Texas. I don't know. Figure it out. See you.